Down. I repeat, Officer Down. Officer Down is the title of a film we're reviewing today. Officer Down is a 2016 comic book adaptation directed by Sean Graham from Slipknot, also known as Clown. I have my little Slipknot shirt on today. It was written by Joe Casey, who is a comic book writer known for Uncanny X-Men, Adventures of Superman, and G.I. Joe's America Elite, among many others. He also was one of the people that created the Ben 10 animated series, which is a little fun fact. Officer Down has a runtime of 88 minutes, and it stars Kim Coates, who actually really resembles the character from the comic book art that I've seen. So I'll put a little side-by-side comparison here. Kim's also starred in such things as Resident Evil Afterlife and Silent Hill. Alongside Kim stars Tyler Ross and Luna Lauren Velez. Sean Graham and Corey Taylor star in this, but we only see Corey Taylor for about 5 minutes because he gets blown up. I wish that was an exaggeration, but we'll get round to that. We will. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between, without further ado, let's jump right into this. We open the film with our protagonist, Officer Down, just doing a monologue.
My city's gone to hell. I've watched it happen. It's why I do what I do. It's what I've always done.
Then, oh God, we jump right into a sex scene. Like, literally just... Obviously, I'm sorry I can't show you, but take my word for it when we're greeted by a lovely blonde busty woman and her legs. Also, whilst this is going off, there's a cheeky little orgasm counter just in the bottom corner. It comes up to a whopping 14 orgasms, so it's very impressive. At least we know he's one man that can satisfy a woman. And then we're greeted with a title card, but not a title card that tells us the, film's title. No, it just says motherfucking LA. And, here's our boy, good old little Corey Taylor.
Super crank!
Playing a drug dealer, drug pin king, I guess you could call him. He's a little wired, he's on the drugs, as a drug dealer would be, I suppose. Then Officer Down just Kool-Aid mans through a fucking wall, starts a shoot up.
Oh yeah!
Alrighty then. Officer Down kills Headcase Harry. That's Corey Taylor's character's name, by the way. Should have mentioned that earlier. And his goons. But Headcase Harry doesn't go down without a little bitching and whining. Oh no.
Fuck you! Take Miranda rights and stick them straight up your ass, pig! Get up!
He also pulls out a big old detonator, and that's it. Kaboom. Big ass explosion. And then the Officer Down title card and song to go with it. They've got their own little theme song. It's quite nice. Seeing Corey Taylor as like a little whiny and petty drug lord was quite interesting, and I really wanted to see his character for a bit longer and a bit more. I wanted to go in depth with the character, but we had to open the film somehow. After this sick ass title song, a cleanup crew comes and unearths Officer Down's body. I guess they need to retrieve him for something. One of the cleanup crew, which I find quite funny, calls him Officer Crispy.
Oh, there he is. Officer Crispy.
But then we jump ahead, we're introduced to a new fresh face, a good old rookie cop, because we always need one of those in a film like this. This guy, how we're introduced to him, is really weird, because personally I don't know anyone that does anything like this.
You're a cop. Part of the motherfucking Brotherhood. You're one of the good guys. You're LAPD. I'm a cop.
Sorry? Yeah. Okay, good for you, bud. You've got the job as an officer. How? I don't know anyone that goes to the mirror and just recites their own job back to them. Imagine if a florist did it. Just, opening up the shop and then they just, you're a florist. You are a good goddamn florist. What? It was so just jarring because no one speaks like that. And just the fact that he's also holding a gun to himself is weird. That's how we're going to meet him. His name's also...
Officer Gable?
No last name. Bit like Madonna, just Gable. So, we head to the station with our new boy, Gabe. I'm going to call him that instead of Gable, because it's a bit of a weird name, Gable. If you are called Gable out there, hello. Hello, other Gables. One of his commanding officers, there we go, instructs him go and see the chief of police. A couple of older commanding officers are just weird, like they're being dicks to him for no apparent reason. It's not necessary. Like, what do you do that for, fam? You know what I mean? But anyway, we're then introduced to our girl, Chief, I think you pronounce her name Beringer?
Chief Behringer.
Come on in.
And, she's looked at Gabe's profile. Another common trope of, cop films.
Interesting site profile.
Basically, she, prep talks him like, hey, do you want to be a little street cop all your life? And he goes, no.
Are you ready?
Damn straight.
She's like, right, I'll give you a chance to do something else. And then she's like,
Have you ever heard of the Fortune 500?
and that's when we're introduced to the Fortune 500. Basically, how we're introduced to them is we follow a Asian man dressed in all pink. I don't know, Filthy Frank vibes, but he's got a ball gag in his mouth and a codpiece on. So kinky Filthy Frank. Interesting. And sat there are three, humanoid... I don't know how to describe them. They have human bodies but animal heads. So I guess... Are they anthropomorphic? I don't know, but there's a vulture, a lion, and a tiger. So the lion is played by Sean. The vulture is played by Chris from Slipknot. And the tiger is just played by a lovely lady. I'll put her name up on screen because I can't remember it right now. Basically, this little Asian man tells them that their job's been compromised.
Harry's operation has been compromised.
Compromise?
Those guys aren't really having it.
Nobody fucks with the Fortune 500. I want his head.
And they want Officer Downe to go down. Oh, how many times am I going to say that? But anyway, I like the set design in this because you know how hunters collect animal heads on walls? They have human heads as trophies instead. So I don't know, I just enjoyed that. It's a good juxtaposition, I think. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm going to roll with it. The guys aren't happy that Officer Downe is still around and lurking. I'll get to that in a minute. I know it's been... Just you wait. It's not got a film named after him for nothing. Alrighty then. We're introduced to...
Zen Master Flash.
How we're introduced to him is he's doing upside down one finger push-ups.
这批新土地刚好可以操一下。
I mean, it takes a lot of upper body strength, finger body strength. Casual. He's kind of cool. I like him. He's a black guy that speaks Chinese. I like how they've done it, because when he speaks, his character speaks Chinese, but then when it's in English, it's what they've done for the old Chinese films where the lips don't match up. And I don't know, I just thought that was kind of funny. I don't know if it's offensive or not. I hope it's not. But it's just a nice little character thing. But then, basically they set him up to well, you deal with Officer Downe, right? And then we cut back to the lion, tiger and vulture. And it's I don't know if then Master Flash has sent these ladies, but there's three lovely, I'm going to presume Chinese ladies, that give these, animal people oral. Yeah, we're in that kind of film. I don't know what else to say to that. But we jump back and meet up with our boy Gabe and Beringer. And they've taken a spooky little elevator down to the basement, as one does, and she's giving exposition, as all good, mother figure characters do.
Money from drugs, from illegal firearms, from protection rackets, you name it. If it's illegal, they are deep up in it. These folks are a force of nature. And how are you supposed to fight that?
I noticed in this scene, swear down, that is the Vine boom sound effect. And they don't use it once, swear down they use it twice in this film. As you might have guessed, Officer Downe isn't really dead, and Beringer tells our boy Gabe this. Basically, she's like, the city's collapsing, there's only one man that can do the job.
It's no secret what's going on out there. The Greeks and the Grunts, the pests and the vermin are taking over. We don't have the manpower or the resources to properly police the streets, but you know what they say?
I don't know.
Fight fire with fire.
Like Officer Downe was saying at the start of the film. And that is Officer Downe himself. But this guy's been brought back from the dead, baby. How? Well, get into that later. But when we first meet him, when Gabe first meets him, he is currently still dead. But wait, not for long. His body's laid on this machine. They just rig him up and the lights go nuts. It's like a little disco in there. Or a club. An aggressive club. And the room shakes. And then, like nothing, our crime-fighting boy is back. And he looks weirdly fresh for a guy that's just been blown up and then brought back to life. Physically, there are no signs of, death or, scars and stuff, which is really weird. But I guess that's how it works. Casual day in the life of Officer Downe. Oh, quick side note, his name's also Terry. Beringer says hello. Hey, you looking good, Terry? I don't know why that's just such a weird thing to me. Obviously he's going to have a first name, but I just didn't think it'd be Terry or Terrence, as we find out later. Officer Downe, as soon as he gets off this table, just puts his sunglasses back on, dead casual and all that. He's not just been resurrected from the dead. But we follow him into the locker room so he can get his little gear on. And then he also starts talking to himself in the mirror.
Look at you. Do you stand for what's right and righteous? Yes, you do. Are you ready to crush some criminal cranium? Yes, you are.
Why is this two people in the span of 20-something minutes that have just prepped themselves in a mirror? Telling them, yeah, you're a good cop. That's weird, is it not? That's really weird. So after Officer Downe's got his little new fit on, we follow him down to the armoury, and he's very lively and mobile. Let me just reiterate the fact that he's been resurrected after being blown up. But obviously, down in the armoury, it's time for a very short gun montage. But I enjoy how they've edited this because it's like video game stats for weapons. I just really enjoy that. Not only does the film feel very comic book, but it feels very video game, and I enjoy both of those things. Beringer once again asks Gabe,
Are you focused?
Absolutely.
Then let's go.
And they catch up with Downe. Also, Officer Downe has a gun with tits on that he rubs. If this film doesn't reek of sex, I don't know what does. They follow him out to the courtyard where his massive, and I mean massive, armoured vehicle is. Barrington says to Gabe, basically you and the other officers are secret backup, so don't go in until the aftermath of things. She tells him that so Downe doesn't go down again. I am going to make more puns. Just you wait. Basically, Gabe is paired with the cops that were dicks to him earlier for no apparent reason. Then we flash back to Zen Master Flash. There we go, 2 in a row there. Master Flash is assembling his student.
First things first, we'll need to get his attention. Shouldn't be too difficult. Our target tends to get involved in some serious shit.
When he's talking, like I mentioned earlier, he talks English sometimes, but his math doesn't match. He breaks the fourth wall.
Fuck these subtitles.
Okay, that entertained me. Jumping back to the next scene with Officer Downe. I know we jump around a lot, I mean a lot in this film, but it's kind of good because it keeps you on your toes because you don't really know what's going to happen next. We're in a church, so praise the Lord. We're greeted by a man waiting to see the head nun, the head sister, I guess. He just casually lights a cigarette and a candle. What's in a church? Man didn't think this through. But anyway, the head sister comes, tells him off.
Remember where you are. A house of divine truth. And I detect this stench of deception all over you.
They go to the head honcho.
Mother Supreme?
Indeed I am.
Who's dressed a bit scantily clad. She's got her tig old biddies out. I'm not complaining, I'm just stating a fact. Basically, this geezer that's come to talk to her has come on behalf of his boss, and he's trying to knock down the price of Summit that they've negotiated between, and Mother Superior is not very happy with that.
Well, my boss felt as though there might be some wiggle room when it comes to the price.
Do you even know what it is that we do here? Do you even know what merchandise you have been sent to negotiate over?
She whips out a gun, threatens him, and then she's like, nah, I'm not gonna kill you, mate. But these, they're gonna solve you. But they take his body down to the morgue. This is the only example of this happening, and it makes no sense. Like, I don't know why this is a thing. It frustrates me a bit. Is when he's being rolled down on a body cart to the morgue, his character opens his eyes and speaks to the camera and breaks the fourth wall.
Fucking hell.
I genuinely have no idea why. Like, no other characters do it when they're dead. Like I don't get it. I really don't get it. But then the cops arrive at the church. They aren't really happy with being back up for Officer Downe.
I'm pissed off. They are detective, they've been working with the ATF, right? And all of a sudden this super cop, he gets to roll in there and get the bus. What we doing? We're babysitting. That's what we're doing. It's bullshit, man.
You know, Gabe doesn't understand why they can't just go in and help him out. But the other cops are like, nah, you've just got to let him do his thing, you know. We've only got one life, he can be brought back multiple times, which is a fair enough statement. But Officer Downe shows up. He just turns up at the church. He just sneaks in. It doesn't make sense. But then he has a good old shootout with some nuns, as every officer of the law has done. Gabe, he has that rookie itch. He's like, oh, I want to get in the action and stuff. He's like, oh, I'm not like other cops. I'm a good rookie. I can save this man. I can fight the day and all that jargon. You know, rookie cop stuff. He's like having a little hissy fit. Whilst Officer Downe's just shooting up the church and shooting up some nuns. Literally, just nuns everywhere. They just appear everywhere. I don't understand, Mother Supreme's chanting at the same time, but is she, summoning nuns? And if so, where is she summoning nuns from? Because, you can summon demons, but I'm not sure how you summon nuns. Do they come out of the ground the same way? Or do they, turn up from a cross? They just... Oh, there's a cross on the wall and then bam, and nun comes out of it, I don't know, is that a thing? But the other officers are talking outside. They've called for some backup because obviously they've heard shots. And Gabe just thinks, sod it. I'm going in. I'm being a big old rookie boy. So he's obviously not listened to his superior officers. And he's gone in the building alone. Like the stupid rookie he is. God damn it, Gabe, you had literally one job. And that was to listen to your superior officers, and you haven't done that. Dumbass. So anyway, Downe comes face to face with Mother Supreme. And he's like, yo, you're under arrest type stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier that when he was having a shootout with the nuns, he shot one so hard that her head exploded. Boy, boy. So so he has a couple of nuns come from the sides, shoot him up. His head sister goes to shoot him down, and he shoots her in the head and explodes it as well. So I guess nuns die like zombies. You can summon a nun like a demon, and you can kill them like a zombie. Just nun things. But basically, Officer Downe is pretty shot up. But Gabe, good old Gabe, comes to the rescue, and he arrests Mother Superior after Officer Downe shoots her in the shoulder. And Gabe handcuffs her, and him and Officer Downe have this weird moment.
Holy shit. Hey, whoa, hey, hold up. Look, she's in custody. Let's do things by the book.
And then Officer Downe just collapses again. So that's 2 deaths on the Officer Downe death toll. His other officers come in, see the mess, and they just get her out, and she's arrested now. So after Gabe's little stunt, we jump into Chief Beringer's office, and she's telling Gabe off because of his actions. But he's sticking to his story. He's saying that he should have done it, should have gone in earlier and all that. And she reluctantly gives him another chance.
They said you were a chatty little fuck. They said you tried to be a hero.
You asked me to be back. I'm a cop. I backed him up. We should have been in there sooner.
That little stunt at the convent could have been your ass. I can give you one last chance to get your head out of your ass and help us make a difference in this city.
So Gabe wanders back to the lockers, and as he opens them, batons and handcuffs come out. And that is peak police bullying there. So he kicks his locker like a moody little teenager in an American high school comedy. Oddly specific, but okay, that's what I'm going with. He just nips on over to Officer Downe's locker and tries on his sunglasses. Not creepy at all. As he's doing this, he notices a scientist come out of some lockers. So our boy Gabe is going to check that shit out. So he sneaks on down through some corridors, and he is greeted by just rows of disabled people. What? Just literally 4 rows. There's people in wheelchairs. So, what the fuck's going on there? It's called
The bullpen.
Apparently. So basically, a scientist who's way too casual for this gives us some good old exposition.
Well, each of them suffers from some sort of motor neuron disease, Lou Gehrig's disease, spinal muscular atrophy, some stuff. Man, they don't have names for it. It's actually pretty amazing.
I don't get it.
Look, for whatever reason, I'm sure Sal couldn't tell you why, I spend most of my time with them. They all have telekinetic abilities on a level that we can't even measure.
What? Of course they do. Of course they do. Why else wouldn't these rows of people have telekinetic powers? Of course they do. Yeah, Gabe takes that lightly, weirdly enough. Basically, we learn that Officer Downe was in a motorbike accident.
Terrorist downfall on Metro Division back in the day. He's an intense guy, fanatical. Fanatical about what? About being a cop. His freeway pursuits were legendary. He never let anyone get away. Of course, his enthusiasm ended up costing him.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, he had, how shall we say, a little accident. The circumstances under which he passed away left his body in a state that happened to be perfect for this particular experiment. How long ago was it? What? What do you... How long was what?
The accident.
Right, I think it's about 25 years.
25 years.
A whole 25 years this man cocked it the first time round, and has been bringing him back ever since. How the hell that man's body hasn't turned into mush is beyond me. But obviously, I'm not a, telekinetic scientist. But I'm not sure anybody is. But if you are, keep doing a service. So Gabe is stunned by the news, rightly so. It's a good natural reaction. He wants to know the cons of this. He thinks these people are being held against their will.
These poor souls sit down here and are forced to give their time.
Whoa. What are you talking about, force? Nobody's forcing anyone. These people are volunteers, each and every one of them.
It gets real awkward because Officer Downe just shows up. Bit of tension. But he walks round, and it's actually quite a touching scene. Because he goes round and you can just feel his appreciation for these people and the work that they do. Like, you can tell he loves and appreciates them for their time and efforts that are put into bringing him back to life. And it's quite sweet. It makes him feel more human. It makes this guy that can be brought back from the dead, that seems almost immortal and godlike, more human than everyone's perceived him to be, because they just keep manufacturing him and pumping him out, whereas at the end of the day he's a guy that just loves his job. So yeah, Gabe changes some words about earlier, says, yeah, you know, I was there at the church. And Officer Downe kind of plays it off like he doesn't know what he's talking about, or maybe he generally just doesn't know what he's talking about. At the end of that shift, Gabe follows Officer Downe just to see what he's up to. You know, he's being a bit sneaky. And the good old orgasm counter is back. Whoa, I bet we've missed that. You know, Gabe just awkwardly sits at the window. What's this time? Well, good old orgasm counter racks up 37, which is very impressive, very impressive. It's quite funny, because Gabe falls asleep. Out of that interaction, there's only one person that didn't enjoy themselves. That was Gabe. Poor bastard. So next we're at a bar with our boy Gabe. He's sulking a bit, because his colleagues start making fun of him, you know, for the church incident earlier.
He's drunk. I don't think I'm too drunk to kick your fucking side. Come on!
Whilst this is happening, Officer Downe is driving around, just having a little skirt through the streets, listening to heavy metal, as I imagine a man like that would. He begins to remember previous things, but in quick flashes. This is in tandem with what's happening at the bar. So after that fight almost breaks out, Gabe and his colleagues get drunk together. And it's a bit of a bonding moment. You know, a bit, hey, the rookie isn't that bad type thing. They're talking smack about Officer Downe. Well, his colleagues are, Gabe isn't.
What he said, do you think we want to do this detail? Huh? Getting that freaks back? No, fuck that son of a bitch.
I will fucking lay my life down for each and every fucking one of you. Because that's what it's all about. You see, I only have to do it once. And that's what makes it better.
Officer Downe, during this, pulls over his vehicle and just punches his mixtape. He just punches it until it breaks. He's having a moment to himself. And then he starts reciting again like he is a cop. He will clean this city type thing.
Look at you. You're a cop. Yes, you are. You represent the law in this city, your city. Yes, you do. Without you, it's all over. Too much crime, too much chaos, too much madness.
I don't know why that's an ongoing theme. I don't prep myself like this. Like, yeah, granted, I do talk to myself sometimes, but it's like not in the sense of that. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. And a crime's happening. Dun dun dun. We're greeted to numerous bodies and body parts and pools of blood. And we're also greeted by Zen Master Flash. Ta-da! With his students. This is probably my favourite part of the film. Yet again, Officer Downe drives in the building this time, like the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
I don't know, I just really like this fight scene because it's kind of not a shootout, it's a bit more physical. Obviously they're ninjas, so they've got ninja weapons, you know, stereotypical like swords and shit. Downe is kind of at a disadvantage, not just because of the number of people like around him, but with Flash, because Flash has superpowers, like he can teleport and stuff, and that's pretty cool. Like I like that in his character. I just do like his character in general. But during this fight, Officer Downe has some stereotypical police one-liners, and I think I'm just going to create a small little montage of him throughout all of this. For the end, just of him saying one-liners whilst beating the shit out of people, because I feel like that's necessary, and it will lengthen your lifespan. He gives it a good go. Unfortunately, he does meet, not his demise, but he doesn't win that battle. Flash comes and finishes him off with a good old flying sidekick. And then we flash over to Lion, Tiger and Vulture, and they seem pretty pumped about this news.
This is a righteous fucking victory!
Let's see the LAPD come back from this! Who runs this city?
Talk slow. I want to enjoy this.
I need to hear some key words. Eviscerated, decapitated, castrated. Go on.
Well, Masters, how about kidnapped?
Flash has kidnapped him, because of course he has. So, Lion, Tiger and Vulture aren't happy at that news, because obviously that's not the deal they made. They wanted the man dead. Like, but he's not, he's still thriving a little, you know? The other officers come after this, they find the bloodbath. They find Officer Downe's severed hand, because one of the people chopped it off, but it was holding on by like a little tendon. So Officer Downe just bit his own hand off and just puffed it on the floor, as someone does. You know, hey, I don't need that no more. It's fine. You can just, here, have it. They realise it's too late, and we flash over to Downe just hanging upside down. It's not a pun, it's generally just a fact this time. He is just hung upside down. But he's all blue and he's all busted and he looks worse for wear. You know, like I thought a man that's just been resurrected would look like. A bit Monster of Frankenstein type thing. But no, this is him injured. We're introduced that he's in prison. It's called the Rat's Nest. So this is where the baddest of bad criminals are. And oh boy, do they want to mess this man up. Because these are obviously the villains that he's put away and cleaned the city up with. And the crooks are not happy with him being there. So they basically have a big old fuck fest of blood, guts and beat-ups. That sounds like an album. Blood, guts and beat-ups now. $9.99 at JML. So they're basically going to kick the shit out of him. So we jump back to the locker rooms once again, and Gabe's sat there, and he's sulking, just staring at Officer Downe's severed hand, as one does, as they've just lost their mentor and the man they look up to. I always do that. Carter, one of the colleagues that I didn't mention earlier, but it's a guy that was going to start a bar fight with him, like tries to give him a pep talk, like, hey, don't worry about it, kid, don't give up type stuff. But he also gives Gabe Officer Downe's file.
What is it? Personnel file? Dating back to the late 70s, Terrence Downe.
What? Wait, this is back from when he was
alive.
It kind of rallies Gabe up.
You are LAPD. You are in the motherfucking Brotherhood now. You are a motherfucking cop. I'm a cop.
That's right.
No one speaks like this. No one rallies themselves up like this. Swear down they don't. But anyway, he goes with Downe's severed hand, and heads to the disabled. Oh yeah. That's a sentence I thought I would never say ever in my life. So we jump back to Officer Downe, and he's getting the beating of a lifetime. A death time? A lifetime. Life and death time, because the man can come back. Boy, is it messy. Even Mother Supreme just shows up and she's like, yeah, I'll join in, you know, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. And she digs her big old lovely, like, heel of her heels just into his neck, just jumps right in his neck.
Mother Supreme, you sexy rat.
You have been judged as unworthy. You have been judged as unclean.
So Gabe rallies together the telekinetics to find Downe whilst, you know, he's being beaten like a piñata at someone's quinceañera.
Yeah, come on. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. There you go.
So the telekinetics, they start quaking. They're using their big old brains to help save the man that cleans up the city. Basically, Berenger shuts it down as, you know, they're struggling to use their powers. They lose a couple of them. And whilst this is happening, Downe starts losing his consciousness. But the telekinetics are like, he's our boy. We're going to do this off the grid. And they just use their powers without the machine and resurrect him on their own. Just a good old kumbaya.
Their power is being sucked out of it. No idea how. We can't do this much longer. They are burning out right in front of us.
And yeah, basically he's resurrected for a third time. This man is a cat. Or maybe like 3 cats smashed into one big cat, and it just has all of the lives. So, you know, with this man being up and ready, some kick-ass rock music starts playing, and you know shit's gonna go down. So with this, Flash just gets the fuck out of there. He's like, nope, peace. At this point, Officer Downe grabs Mother Supreme's legs and just snaps them off, and she just goes flying into the stratosphere, and that's the last of her. Bye-bye. And then he aggressively beats some people to death with her legs. This film is insane. Rip off a nun's legs and then just beat people. It's like, of course that's what you'd do in a situation like this. It's the only thing you should do in a situation like this. Like, Flash updates Lion, Tiger and Vulture about, Officer Downe's not dead. He's actually back with a vengeance. And they have a little bit of a tiff. Like, Flash threatens them 3 and he's like, oh, when I find you, I'm gonna, end you. And I would have really liked to see that feud. I thought it would have been fun with how different they are, and it would have extended kind of how Tiger, Vulture and Lion are. Like, you would have seen them more in action, maybe. No, that doesn't happen. You know, Officer Downe goes after Flash, and they have a good old fight. During this, Gabe and backup's on their way. So yeah, I quite liked this fight. It was good to see them pitted against one another. Like, you have Flash, who's got agility, and he's quite light on his feet. And you've got Officer Downe, who uses kind of his brute strength, and he's kind of like a bare-knuckle fighter. And just to see them pitted against one another is really interesting for how they're going to use their abilities against one another. I also like how cramped this fight is, because it's just in a little stairwell, so you get to see the moves. It's quite clean, but ultimately Officer Downe wins. He is powered by the telekinetics. His brute strength wins, and he just rips out Flash's eyes. this man just likes destroying body parts for people, like heads, legs, eyes. Gabe and his backup arrive, they see the mess, and they find Officer Downe's body, you know, just nipping back to headquarters. But yeah, then we see Officer Downe on the table, like what he was when he was resurrected. He's in that room again. Gabe doesn't know if they should bring him back or not, as he thinks it could be a bit inhumane.
Maybe we should let him be.
What?
I mean, let him rest in peace.
Rest in peace. What does that even mean? You're the one who convinced me to bring him back.
Oh yeah, and at some point they put his hand back on. Like, I don't know if the resurrection period is like a healing thing as well. It must be, because if he's not like mush, somehow they've put his severed hand back on. But yeah, basically Berenger is like, oh, if we don't bring him back, this city's like ruined, because we don't have anyone else like him. You know, and they warm that puppy up, and kabam, our boy is back yet again. Just, you know, to fight crime and kick ass, as he's always done. Like, you know, because they can bring him back, is this just like a loophole so they don't have to pay him a retirement fund? Is this the plan all along? Oh shit, I think I've figured you out. Yeah, again, we have another touching moment with Downe and the telekinetics. He thanks them for everything they've done. He holds them again and tells them he's able to save the city and do what he truly loves, but he says all of that without words. Like, he just walks around and whispers in their ears and touches them, and it's touching. It's nicely done. Gabe and Berenger are just awkwardly stood there whilst he does this, but it yet again brings back the fact that he is human, and this is like something he's always wanted to do, and he's thankful for that. And not only is he able to do that, but these people in wheelchairs have been able to feel like some use, because they may be confined physically to a wheelchair, but mentally they have the capacity to live through him. And it's quite touching. And then just casually after that, we jump back to him. He's just going to go back and do his job casually. So we jump to 2 crooks in a car, and one of them is Sid from Slipknot. So that's 4 Slipknot members out of 9 in this, which is quite fun. You know, they're just cruising down, doing crook stuff, and Officer Downe rides up next to him on a motorbike, rips their door off, and then that's it. End credits. We've finally made it. A round of applause. That's Officer Downe. So if I were to rate Officer Downe, I would give it 7.5. It's an out there film. It's good trippy editing that you could enjoy with your friends. So I do definitely recommend it. But also, if you're a stoner and you want to get high and then watch a trippy film with violence and sex, this is the one for you. This will do it. So yeah, I recommend it. It's definitely a watch. It's not the perfect film in existence, but it's also not the shittest. Give it a go, because I was thoroughly surprised at how much I did enjoy it whilst watching it. That concludes my Officer Downe review. Ooh. If you enjoyed this, you know, maybe stick around for some more reviews that I'm going to do. If not, that's cool. Thank you for your time. Whoever you are and wherever you are, I hope you are having or have had a good day. And if not, I hope this review cheers you up a little bit. And especially with the circumstances that are happening right now, I hope people are safe. I hope people are safe. That's the correct word. And at home. Stay home. Stop going out. Only get you 1 hour of exercise. Don't piss around. But yeah, other than that, I bid you farewell.
That's assaulting a police officer. That's resisting arrest. You have the right to remain silent. I see you're resisting arrest.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You're not supposed to be out of your cells, are you?